In this month's edition of Edutainment, first-year BBA student Carolin shares her experience of an internship with UNICEF as part of IE University's social impact project. And we go behind the scenes at the First International BIARI Workshop, where participants wrestled with the question of climate policy for world cities. All IE University students participate in internships or exchange programs from their first year onwards. For first-year BBA undergraduates, this experience takes the form of the Social Impact Project, an internship program which aims, among other things, to broaden students' understanding of the world and its social disparities.
Socially responsible in business means to me to go beyond the aim of making profit. I mean, that's the first fact and the most important one, and to really care about those who are in need.
The important companies are already working on social responsibility in order to become more sustainable.
First-year BBA student Carolin has spent nearly 2 months interning in the Human Resources Department at UNICEF's offices in Madrid.
I certainly believe that now I'm really conscious that social responsibility is everywhere and in every business. I mean, UNICEF is working with private companies such as IKEA or Barca, the football club, and they all care about the kids that UNICEF gives the money to in Africa or wherever the need is.
UNICEF can give to the students who are doing with us an internship a lot of information about the situation of children in every country, about our projects, and they usually learned also a bit of reality, a new perspective, in order to understand that our problems are maybe not so complicated and heavy to solve.
It's changed me in the way that, for me, it's really like always up there now, and I really start caring about it.
A key aim of the Social Impact Project is to contextualise and enhance classroom learning through professional experience.
I've really learned about the soft skills and their importance in the company, and the class that we had, the interpersonal skills class, has certainly helped me because I'm in the Human Resources Department, so we really have to deal with people every day and the whole company and the volunteers, and be very patient and really talk to them every day and keep on working. And I think that's a really hard skill, maybe more hard than like all these technical skills, to deal person to person.
It's very easy to work with Carolin. She works very hard and in a fast way. It's a good relationship without asking every time, "Are you okay? Have you finished? Please give me this at 1 o'clock." We have to share the tasks, and it's also important that she is with me in the meetings, although maybe she cannot participate if she doesn't know the aspects we have to discuss, but it's also a learning process, so it's important to me. She's everywhere.
This holistic approach helps interns to think critically about how business affects society and what it means to be a socially responsible business leader.
Every company, no matter if they produce or if they give a certain service, they have to have like this, maybe 5 or 10% of social responsibility in their company.
The customers, clients, suppliers, partners of every company will think better about this kind of company if this company is responsible with the current problems in all the aspects, children and climate.
Doing it with a corporate volunteering program, such as UNICEF offers it to its clients, kind of. I mean, the employees of the companies can do certain activities here in the company, or just activities to get money and then give it to UNICEF. There are many, many ways, and I think there is no excuse anymore for a company to not be socially responsible nowadays.
How can we make the discourse on sustainability more attractive for major stakeholders?
The First International BIARI Workshop recently took place at IE's Madrid campus. BIARI are the Brown International Advanced Research Institutes, and the First International Workshop was entitled "Towards a Climate Policy for World Cities."
The main question is how it's possible that local governments and local cities can face to climate change with the proper policies.
The 3-day workshop aimed to analyse, discuss and generate debate on the key issues affecting cities under climate variability and change, as well as identifying opportunities for designing city climate action plans. As the workshop was focused on local policy and decision-making, we asked, does that mean that global and national initiatives have failed to address the issue of climate change?
Not exactly, but you have a global problem, and so you need a global solution to tackle it. And that means that at the present moment in which global forum is mostly represented at the UN, and so national entities, these are the ones that are playing the big balls, let's say, but at the end you'll have the cities having to tackle, because that's where most of the population live, and therefore most of the emissions come from.
Perhaps we can answer in the opposite sense of this question, because we can say in the local level of policy there are many opportunities to make concrete actions in this line. In the other levels, national and global level, it's more difficult because we don't have global government in our planet. For this, it's good to focus the work in local level.
Part of the workshop saw graduate students studying for IE University's Master in Global Environmental Change presenting action plans for the city of Madrid. We asked the students and other workshop participants, with regard to climate policy for world cities, what are the solutions as you see them?
I don't know if we can talk about solutions. I think benchmarking of good practices, best practices, it's what can help us improve the situation at a global level.
I believe that the solutions have to come from the social side and the economic side, that people have to change lifestyles slowly and have to practice in sustainable manners their lifestyles.
Another one would be energy conservation and energy efficiency in buildings, for example, which is a subject we've studied and we're presenting in the workshop.
It's a big challenge because, as we were talking in the workshop, it's changing the way that people behave in some parts, and that's hard. So I guess that the clue is to start thinking about incentives and how can we sort of continue developing, but taking into account that we have an Earth to take care of.
I don't think there's any kind of one silver bullet policy that you could say is going to, solve these issues. But I think kind of starting to incorporate climate change into already existing policies is the way to go.
Cities are in a contest of being the excellent cities, and they think that just by copy-pasting policies, best practices for other places, they are going to be they are going to have the solution, and it's not that. I mean, it's a problem that needs common values and efforts, continued efforts, and integration and participation and involvement of everyone.
The workshop was organised by Dr. Elena Lopez-Gunn, a Senior Research Fellow at the Botín Foundation Water Observatory and Associate Professor at IE University, and Dr. Francesco Musco of the Faculty of Urban and Regional Planning at the IUAV University of Venice. We finished by asking Dr. Lopez-Gunn, what do you hope this workshop will achieve?
I think in workshops quite often the most important thing is the social interactions, is the informal meetings that take place around the workshop at the coffee time and at lunchtime. And I'm really hoping that spontaneously, people will meet and suddenly common interests. As people, we look for commonalities rather than differences. And I have some very, very high expectations that this will be the first BIARI workshop, that we have plans already for a second BIARI workshop in Venice, where my co-organizer Francesco will take the lead. And then we would be happy to, and then maybe take it to some of the other BIARI locations, maybe Bogota. So I think we have a high expectations from this workshop.
We'll see you again next time for another edition of Edutainment.